I want to check with you. Can you see the screen?
I can, Bhante.
Can you see? You can see the screen?
Yes, Bhante.
Which one? English or Pali?
I see
English.
English.
Huh?
English.
English. Okay, good. Okay.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good
Morning, Bhante.
morning.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning, Bhante.
Good morning. I have we wait for another few minutes because there are more people might join. Uh, okay.
දැන් පේන්නේ සිංහල.
Huh?
දැන් පේන්නේ සිංහල. Bhante.
You sing only single. Okay.
At the moment, this minute it changed.
Okay. Okay. Let me put it back again in English.
Oh, it come up at the bottom.
Okay. Now you see English.
Oh, hey, Bhante.
Okay. Okay. Today we are going to talk on the simile of the fortress, a city. This is called Nagarupama Sutta.
Nagarupama Sutta.
Nagarupama Sutta. Let me minimize this and so that you can see the screen better. Okay. I think if I bring it to this side, you can see it better. Anyway, because when a king's fortress, a frontier fortress is self-provided with 7 appurtenances of fortress and readily gains without trouble or difficulties 4 kinds of food, it can be called king's frontier fortress that cannot be assailed by external force and enemies. Now he explained what are the 7 kinds of appurtenances of fortress it is well provided. Number 1, Buddha will explain all these things in more detail. This is just the outline. Here, because in the king's fortress, the frontier fortress, the pillar has been as a deep base. You know, this screen, I like to bring it to this side. This screen is much can you see better?
Bhante, it has gone to Sinhalese again. Suddenly
Sinhalese,
disappeared.
again Sinhalese.
Oh, only Sinhalese.
Wow. Let me change this. I'll try to bring this to this screen and open this one. And still, now you don't see anything.
No.
You are put here. Now can you see?
Half the English only on the left-hand side of the screen.
Now,
Much better, much better.
okay. I'll
It's
try
not
to.
quite centered, but we can just about see it. That's
Okay.
good. Hari
Let me
Mohondai.
make it smaller. Okay. So this is not important. Okay. Here, because kings, in the king's frontier fortress, the pillar has been deep and secured, planted, immobile, unshakable. King's frontier fortress will provided with this first appurtenance for protecting its inhabitants and warding off the outsiders. This is number one. Buddha explained them in detail later on. Again, in the King's frontier fortress, has the moat is dug deep and wide. The King's frontier fortress is well so provided with this second apparatus for protecting its inhabitants and for warding off outsiders. Third, again, he has a patrol path, high and wide. The fourth is fortresses. Weapons are stored, both missiles and hand weapons, like hand grenades. Again, it has troop, troops reside the elephant troops, cavalry, charioteers, archers, stand bearers, and camp marshals, food servers, Ugra caste warriors. There's a kind of warriors who jump ahead of others, frontline commanders, and then great bull warriors, attack soldiers, shield bearers, bearing shoulders, domestic slave soldiers, like mercenaries and so forth. And then the sixth has a gatekeeper, wise and competent and intelligent, one who keeps out strangers and admit acquaintance. And the seventh is from the rampart is high and wide, covered over by coat of plaster. These are the 7 protective measures in around the fortress. So, and also, in addition to these 7, king also has this 4 kinds of secure, safe things. One is grass, firewood, and water stored up for the delight, relief, and ease of its inhabitants and, ward of the warriors, outsiders. Now, when in the fortress, when the inhabitants and soldiers are living, they also need the grass for their animals to feed and firewood to cook and heat up their homes. And they need all these things because they cannot go out and get all this from outside. And also, they are absolutely not necessary. And they also have food, grains stored up for their own use, rice, barley, stored up for the delight of their inhabitants and soldiers and so on. Again, they have other kinds of additional sesame, green, grams, beans, and so forth. These are the kind of food they used those days. And then in addition to that, they also have medicines. They use ghee, butter, oil, honey, molasses, and salt to make their medicine and so forth. Now, then Buddha explained the simile in this way. What is this? First is the frontiers deep and securely planted, immobile, unshakable, a pillar for the purpose of protecting its inhabitants and for warding off of outsiders. Similarly, so too the noble disciple is endowed with faith. He places faith, saddha. Saddha means saddho tathagata sabodhi. They have faith in the Buddha's enlightenment. And we recite this, the Blessed Ones, each and Arahant, perfectly enlightened, accompanied in true knowledge and conduct, a fortunate knower of the world, unsurpassable trainer of persons to be tamed, teacher of devas and human and enlightened and so forth, Blessed One. Now, itipiso bhagavarang and so forth. These are the qualities of the Buddha. One who has faith in the Buddha, when we recite these things, their faith increases. And that faith becomes so strong, just like a pillar. Pillar they build with bricks or stones. If it is 8-foot pillar, they dug, they sink in the ground 4 feet. If it is 16 feet, they sink it in the ground 8 feet. Like that, built with, today we use concrete, but they used those days bricks and stones. to build, make it so firm and unshakable, immobile. Similarly, the faith in the Buddha should be unshakable faith, unwavering faith, firm faith. They don't sacrifice or give up. They are faith for anything in the world. So firmly established faith the noble disciple should have. That is number one. Number two is the sense of moral shame and hearing. It is just like the water dug deep and has the moat, the ditch, very deep and wide and filled with water, so that enemies cannot cross that ditch. If they jump into the ditch, then the soldiers inside can attack them and kill them. So they are well protected. Similarly, the sense of moral shame, it is in Pali called Lokapala Dhamma, Lokapalaka Dhamma. The Dhamma that protect us from doing wrong things, ashamed of bodily, verbal, and mental misconduct. We are ashamed of committing unwholesome moral, verbal, and physical and mental misconduct. That is our protection. Because we think, whenever we think of committing unwholesome thing, we always reflect, I am observing such and such a principle. If he's a monk, I'm a monk. If he's a nun, she says, I'm a nun. If somebody observing the 5 precepts, he must say, I observe these precepts. If he observes the 8 precepts, he must say, I observe these 8 precepts. A person of my status, my caliber, my education, one who observes principles should not commit this kind of unwholesome misconduct, unwholesome deed in thoughts, words, and deed. That's called hiri, sense of moral shame. And it is just like that moat, a ditch, filled with water, wide and deep, to protect. So that protects the city. Similarly, our mind will be protected by hiri, shame, moral shame. And then the third is like King Suro says, a patrol path. Patrol path. The soldiers, fully armed, will walk on the patrol path. They build a very wide patrol path to detect the enemies coming in and preventing them from coming in. And similarly, moral dread, wrongdoing, uttappa, dread of wrongdoing, the fear of public opinion, fear of reprimanding, fear of going into jail in this life, fear of a bad reputation, fear of falling into various kind of trouble, punishment, and even after death, being born in uh, dreadful state, woeful state. And that's called moral wrongdoing or dread of doing wrong things, fear of doing wrong things in thoughts, words, and deeds, dread bodily, verbal, and mental conduct. He is afraid of committing such deeds. That is called the patrol path of the city. Where is that city? City is our mind. We all know that. And then there is an armory, storehouse of weapons, just as many weapons, both missiles and hand weapons, stored in the king's frontier fortress for the purpose of protecting its inhabitants and ward off outsiders. And that is, one should be Bhavasuta, learned much, accumulates what he has learned and remember them. Remember what one has learned to use in a situation. For instance, when we want to meditate, we have to have something in our mind to use. When we want to have a Dhamma discussion, we have to have something in our mind to discuss. So Buddha said, remember those teachings that are good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good at the end, with right meaning and phrases which proclaims the perfectly, what you call, perfectly complete and pure spiritual life, such teaching as this he has learned of, trained in mind, retained in mind, and recited verbally, mentally investigated, and penetrate well by view. That's called Ditya Supatividya. We learn the Dhamma, memorize the Dhamma, and repeat it again and again, and use and see the meaning of this. This Dhamma is good at the beginning, good in the middle, good at the end, and then Dhamma we take into our mind, keep them there, and then periodically we recite them verbally and mentally investigate, and also with wisdom, we right view, we investigate, penetrate, so that more and more uh, we understand the deep aspect of Dhamma and gain more and more knowledge of deeper Dhamma. That is just like having a weapon in the king's armory, store of weapons, to use for our own benefit. Then there are troops, elephant troops, domestic slaves, and so forth, as we mentioned earlier, horse riding, and cavalries, and you know, domestic slaves, soldiers, and so forth. They are there to protect us and prevent enemies from coming in for warding off outsiders. So too noble disciples has aroused energy ආරද්ධ විරියෝ විහෙරති අකුසලානන්දම්මානම් පහනාය. He has four kind of energy. Energy to prevent unarisen, unwholesome mental state from arising, to overcome already arisen, unwholesome mental states, and to arouse unwholesome, wholesome mental states, and develop, cultivate, and meditate on already arisen wholesome mental state. For that, there has to be energy. You see? So Buddha says it's for abandoning unwholesome qualities and acquiring wholesome qualities. Strong, firm in exertion, not casting off the duty of cultivating wholesome qualities. When we start developing wholesome qualities, and we must not become complacent, become lazy to develop it. When we have unwholesome qualities, we must arouse our energy to overcome them. So, Buddha said, with energy as his troops, the noble disciple abandons the unwholesome and develops the wholesome, abandons what is blameworthy and develop what is blameless, and maintain himself in purity. He possesses this fifth quality. And then sixth one, I ran over them as quickly as possible because I want to finish this today and have some meditation as well. There's some time for meditation. Now, sixth quality. Just as the gatekeeper in the king's frontier fortress is wise, competent, and intelligent, one who keeps out strangers and admits the acquaintances, protecting its inhabitants and for warding off outsiders. So too, noble disciple is mindful, possessing supreme mindfulness and alertness, sati sampajanya, or satima hoti paramena, sati nepakena, says, one who remembers and recollects what was done and said long ago, that is memory. So with mindfulness as gatekeeper, mindfulness as a gatekeeper, this simile, the noble disciple abandons the unwholesome and develops the wholesome. Abandon unwholesome or blameworthy and develop blameless, maintaining himself in purity. Now, sati sampajanya, mindfulness, we remember, is very, very important thing. That is what we try to cultivate all the time. When we practice mindfulness, we won't let unwholesome things enter the mind. And we prevent unwholesome things arising in the mind. If unwholesome things comes to our mind door through eyes, ears, and so forth, we immediately reject it, dispel it. That is the power of mindfulness. It's a gatekeeper. The Buddha used this gatekeeper as a wonderful simile. Gatekeeper is very much, very competent, trained, and therefore he is very intelligent. He knows as soon as somebody is coming to try to enter through the gate, he immediately stop him and expel him, ask him to leave, go away. If somebody who is friendly, known to him, and he happens to be honest, sincere person, he let him in. Similarly, wholesome things, mindfulness, let wholesome things arise and get rid of unwholesome things. Now, the seventh is just like King's Frontier Fortress is high and wide, covered over by coat of plaster for protecting its inhabitants and so forth. That means he possessed the wisdom that discerns arising and passing away. It's called in Pali Udayattagamini Panya Samannagato. Being mindful of rising and falling is wisdom. Wisdom's knowledge is wisdom function is being able to see rising and falling, rising and falling, rising and falling, because nothing static. They always, everything is rising and falling, rising and falling. Without any hesitation or doubt, one must accept it, one must see it and accept it as the true nature of existence. That is the function of wisdom. So, now in the simile, there is a high and wide court, high and wide covered over by a coat of plaster. Why is that? In the wall, even if there is a tiny little hole, that has to be covered so that others cannot spy on us, on the individual inside the fortress. And therefore it has to be covered with plaster so that nobody can see that. Similarly, when wisdom arises, wisdom sees everything very clearly without letting unwholesome things arise in the mind. These are the seven protective measures. Now, in addition to that, Buddha was so wonderful, giving so many similes. In addition to that, he says, just as because much grass, firewood, water are stored up in the king's frontier fortress for the delight, relief, and comfort of its inhabitants, and for warding off outsiders, so too he practices jhanas. He practices jhana, first jhana. First jhana is, quite secluded from sense pleasure, secluded from unwholesome state of mind, and Doba disciples enters and dwells in the first jhana, which consists of rapture and pleasure, born of seclusion, accompanied with thought and examination. So these are the qualities of the first jhana. In the first jhana, you simply seclude yourself from sense pleasures and seclude from unwholesome. That is, you overcome your hindrances, sense pleasures. When you mention sense pleasures, kamachanda, secluded from unwholesome states, remaining hindrances, anger, restlessness, worry, doubt, and this remaining four. Greed, hatred, restless and worry, sleepiness and drowsiness, and doubt. These are only one of them is mentioned by name, that is sensual pleasures. Other four are covered from the word unwholesome states. Other four are covered by the word unwholesome states. That is greed, anger, restlessness and worry, sleepiness and drowsiness and doubt. We overcome these five hindrances. And then mind becomes very calm, relaxed and peaceful. Then arises rapture and happiness, born of seclusion accompanied by thought and examination. That is called in Pali vitakka vichara. So with these qualities one enters the first jhana. When one enters the first jhana, he is secure. He is secure. For his delight, for his own delight, relief and comfort, and for entering upon Nibbana. Now, this state, if he, with mindful practice, one can use this state for attaining Nibbana. By attaining the first jhana alone is not enough, then one must see each and every jhanic factor is impermanent, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Each jhanic factor is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and without self. When one sees this, then entering upon Nibbana, then he can attain Nibbana. Then the second protective measure is attaining the second jhana. That also is like accumulating rice, barley, and so forth for their consumption. Attaining the second jhana also gives them sense of security. When you are in a fortress, cannot go outside, you need some food, and therefore you store the food. Similarly, when you prevent all unwholesome states arising in your mind, and you protect your mind from even thought and examination, and you become more secure, stronger in the second jhana, where you have concentration born of what you call concentration, second jhana. You have pleasure, born of concentration. Then you attain the third jhana. It is just like collecting other food items like sesame, green, gram, and beans, as additional things for people to use. Similarly, when you attain the third jhana, you are equanimous. You are mindful, your mind is clearly comprehending, and you stay in the third jhana, which is called that one lives in happy state, equanimous, and who dwells happily. Then, in addition to all these things, the people in the fortress inside, they need, in an emergency, they need medicine. So they collect various ghee, butter, oil, honey, molasses, and store them. Salt, store them in case they fall sick. Similarly, when you attain the fourth jhana, you are in concentration, you are perfectly secure. Everywhere, any side, any part, any direction, you are protected. Nothing would hurt you. That is just like attaining the fourth jhana. So Buddha concluded this because this 7 qualities and 4 additional protective measures, one can remain secure and one can practice more deeper concentration, so that noble disciples who cannot be assailed by Mara, who cannot be assailed by the evil one. That means when we are in that state, we are not assailed, affected by any outside unwholesome things. Here, evil one is a personification of unwholesome mental state. So we are protected. And therefore, this discourse is, I ran over it very quickly, but since you have this, I put it, I think on, I don't know whether it is in YouTube. I don't know whether it is too late to go to YouTube. Anyway, you can see it now. Okay. All right, friends. That's all we can do today within our limited time. And I want you all to spend some time in meditation. Okay? Let me see whether we can get some meditation. Okay, instructions. Metta recital. No, not that. Hmm. Anyway, you remember the metta recital, right? Hello?
Yes.
I tried to open it, but it gave me some trouble.
What is that? Oh, sorry.
So we uh, okay. Anyway, we meditate now using our whatever available. Okay. Anyway, let me recite it for you and listen to me and then meditate together. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or when awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. With this metta thought, let us meditate at least for 15 minutes. I'm sorry we spend a little longer time for the talk. Okay? It's very important discourse. It's not, we did not lose anything. Okay. By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish, may I always join with the wise, until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, friends, that is the end of today's session. And I want to end my regular metta recital. I don't know what happened to what happened to this today. Anyway, may all beings in those patients in hospitals suffering from various diseases taken care of by doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs, may they all recover very soon and return to their normal life and practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs who are taking care of these people with compassion, sacrificing their comfort, and may they also find time to practice Dhamma, meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who have lost their loved ones, may they find time to understand the nature of Dhamma, and may they all find time to practice meditation and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in trouble spots, in war zones, discrimination, poverty-stricken, and may they also find time to practice meditation, understand the nature of Dhamma, nature of life, and be liberated from samsaric suffering. And may all those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, western direction, northwestern direction, up and below us, all of them be well, happy, and peaceful. May they all liberate from samsaric suffering. And I hope you enjoy today's Dhamma discussion. That is very deep and profound and meaningful, just like any other sutta. But since we didn't have much time to discuss in detail, I gave almost a summary of it, and I hope you got the essence of it and put that into practice. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu.
Teruan Saranay
Bye,
Bante.
Bhante.
Kiwan
Thank you.
Sarana.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Swamin
Bhante.
Satsu.
Thank
Much
you for a
meditating.
very
Teruan
interesting talk.
Saranay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you, Bhante.